We are seeing now the last section or the fourth canto of the book of Yoga. Savitri is going to meet the mother of light, of joy and peace. She has already met the mother of suffering, of grief divine, and the mother of might, of works and force. She had promised them that she would come back and bring strength, bring wisdom. Now she is going to promise to this third world force, Savitri's soul force, the possibility of seeing the Absolute Himself, the possibility of God living in the body. Of course, while she is meeting these soul forces, she also encounters the opposing forces rising from below as a challenge to what she is going to do. This challenge is inherent in the very nature of things. It can be removed only when Savitri has discovered her soul, only when the Supreme Divine Force enters into her physical. Until then, this challenge will remain there. But Savitri has to be aware of this, and that is what now we are going to see here in this last section, section 1, 2, 3. Ascending still her spirit's upward road, Savitri is going from level to level. Now she is reaching the last stage. Ascending still her spirit's upward road, she came into a high and happy space where there is joy, where there is delight, where there is sweetness. A white tower of vision, whence all could be seen. She is at the top of the world, and the whole panorama is there stretching in front of her. And all was centered in a single view, as when by distance separate scenes grow one, and a harmony is made of views at war. When you see the mountain with the trees and forests and bushes from a distance, the whole thing looks a harmonious perfection. You don't see separations at all. The colors are not different, they match into each other very well. Therefore, a harmony is made of views at war. If you see them individually, separately, it might look as if one color is quarreling with the other color, the dark with the bright, the blue with the red. But from a distance, they merge into each other and look very harmonious. And a harmony is made of views at war. The wind was still, and fragrance packed the air. It was a quiet place, and it is a fragrant place also. The wind was still, and fragrance packed the air. There was a carol of birds and murmur of bees, and all that is common and natural and sweet, yet intimately divine, to heart and soul. A nearness thrill to the spirit, to its source. She is feeling the closeness of her soul, even as she is ascending on this upward route. A nearness thrill of the spirit to its soul, and deepest things seemed obvious, close, and true. Here, living center of that vision of peace, a woman sat in clear and crystal light. This is the mother of light, of joy and peace, whom Savitri is seeing. Here, living center of that vision of peace, a woman sat in clear and crystal light. Heaven had unveiled its luster in her eyes. Her feet were moonbeams, her face was a bright sun. Her feet were moonbeams, soft, velvety, silvery, and her face dazzling, brilliant, golden, orange. Her smile could persuade a dead, lacerated heart to live again and feel the hands of calm. Such was her power, her smile, that even someone who is mangled, who is tormented, who is tortured, he could feel solace in her company because of her. Her smile could persuade a dead, lacerated heart to live again. It could take courage and ought to live once more and feel the hands of calm. A low music heard became her floating voice. She is speaking to Savitri in low tone, with all the sweetness, with all the joy in it. A low music heard became her floating voice. Oh Savitri, I am thy secret soul. She is addressing to Savitri. Yes, it is there in your soul that I am residing. I have come down to the wounded and desolate earth. Why I am sitting here? I have come down to the wounded, desolate earth to heal her pangs and lull her heart to rest. I come down to the wounded, desolate earth to heal her pangs and lull her heart to rest. Her earth's heart, desolate, barren, without any hope in life. I have come down to the wounded, desolate earth to heal her pangs and lull her heart to rest and lay her head upon the mother's lap. It is there she will get true consolation, true solace. It is there she will find refuge to all her difficulties. That she may dream of God and know His peace, that earth may dream of God and obtain His peace, and draw the harmony of higher spheres into the rhythm of earth's rude, troubled days. This discourteous life, this rude life, this troubled life, these troubled routines, days, happenings, they will get into another rhythm and draw the harmony of higher spheres, the harmony of the skies, of the planets. It is that which will flow into our veins. That she may dream of God and know His peace, and draw the harmony of higher sphere into the rhythm of earth's rude, troubled days. That is why I am sitting in your soul. I show to her the figures of bright gods. Yes, it is to the earth that I tell, this is Indra, this is Varuna, this is Vayu, this is Agni, this is Soma, this is Mitra. I show her all these gods. I show to her the figures of bright gods and bring strength and solace to her struggling life. I think that now are only words and forms. I reveal to her in the body of their power. It is their power I reveal to her. Disclose to her that these are the powers sitting in your body, in your physical. I am peace that steals the man's war-torn breast. Amid the rain of hell, his acts create a hostel where heaven's messengers can lodge. It is here heaven's messengers can come and lodge. Amid the rain of hell, his acts create God's acts. It is here I create in this hell. And this is the place where the messengers of heaven can come and stay. I am charity with a kindly hands that bless. I give generously all my gifts to humankind. I am charity with the kindly hands that bless. I am silence with the noisy tramp of life, the daily buzz, the market sounds, the shout and the cry and the weeping. Amongst them, it is the silence of the gods that I bring. I am charity with the kindly hands that bless. I am silence with the noisy tramp of life. I am knowledge pouring on her cosmic map. This is a map sketched out here, and I look into all these details and tell her this is this, this is this, this is. It is that knowledge which I bring and give to her. I am charity with the kindly hand that bless. I am silence with the noisy tramp of life. I am knowledge pouring on a cosmic map, looking carefully, minutely in every detail. In the anomalies of the human heart is full of contradictions, grief and joy, hatred and love. These constantly go on in the human actions and activities. In the anomalies of the human heart, where good and evil are close bedfellows, they live together, both good and evil. He is subject to them simultaneously. There is the good which will promote the life's prospects. There is the evil which will drag man backward. There is light, there is darkness. There is truth, there is error. There is right, there is wrong. All these things are present simultaneously in man. There is freedom, there is also bondage. There is valor, heroic deeds, there is also weakness. There is the God of benevolence, of wisdom. There is the God of destruction also, Ahura Mazda, and the antagonist. They live simultaneously. There is the praise for all the good that is done. There is also the punishment for the wrong which is committed by man. Simultaneously, these are the anomalies present in the human nature here. In the anomalies of the human heart, where good and evil are close bedfellows. They live simultaneously. They are inseparable. And light is by darkness dogged. At every step you go in light, but behind is trailing darkness all along. Where is largest knowledge is an ignorance. What is man's knowledge after all? It is accompanied by ignorance. I am the power that labors toward the best and works for God and looks up toward the heights. This is what I do. I work for God and look up towards the height. I make even sin and error stepping stones. Man's sin and error, they themselves are promoting his prospects in one way or the other. Life and death, knowledge and ignorance, sin and error, they are also in a certain sense promoting life's prospects. It is by death that life progresses. I make even sin and error stepping stones, and all experience a long march towards light. Out of the inconscient I build consciousness. There was nothing, achetana. Everything was dumb, mute, without any form, without any quality. It is out of that I have built consciousness. I have built senses, I have built perception, I have built values, and I have to still go further on. Out of the inconscient I build consciousness and lead through death to reach immortal life. That is the mechanism I have found to take man forward on his path of spiritual possibilities. Out of the inconscient I build consciousness and lead through death to reach immortal life. So death is a helper in that respect. And even sin and error stepping stone, and all experience a long march towards light. Out of the inconscient I build consciousness and lead through death to reach immortal life. Many are God's forms by which He governs in man. He comes with different qualities, with different powers, with different attributes, and presents Himself to man. Many are God's forms by which He grows in man. They stamp His thoughts and deeds with divinity. So whatever man does, it is on those things He puts His stamp. Uplift the stature of the human clay, this human material consciousness, it is elevated because of many gods who I bring here. Uplift the stature of the human clay, or slowly transmute it into heaven's gold. It is spiritual elevation which comes because of me. Many are God's forms by which He grows in man. They stamp His thoughts and deeds with divinity. Uplift the stature of the human clay, or slowly transmute it into heaven's gold. What are God's forms? Innumerable. If you recite the 1,000 names of Vishnu, each name of Vishnu has a form, has a quality, has a certain power. It is those 1,000 forms which I bring to man. Vishnu Sahasranama, that is what we chant. All these attributes we invite that they may dwell in us. this mother of light is telling Savitri, it is those forms of God I bring to man. Many are God's forms by which He grows in man. What are those forms? He is a good, that is the first form. He is the good for which men fight and die. Yes, that is the struggle for good. He is good. He is the war of right. The second form is right, with right and wrong. So right and wrong are fighting, but it is the right which I bring. It is the good that I bring. He is freedom, rising deathless from her fire. Something which is not existing, not living, and burnt. From that fire, it is the freedom which comes up. Good, right, freedom. He is valor, guarding still the desperate pass. Guarding still the desperate pass. The valor of Baji Prabhu, guarding the desperate path for Shivaji's transit to safety. That is the quality which I bring to man. He is good for which men fight and die. He is a war of right with right and wrong. He is freedom, rising deathless from a fire. He is valor, guarding still the desperate pass. Or lone and erect on the shattered barricade, or a sentinel in the dangerous echoing night. This is what the man of valor does. Then it's not just valor, he is also a martyr. He sacrifices his life for the sake of value. He, the crown of the martyr, burned in flame. He doesn't care about his life. He just plunges into that. And the glad designation of the saint. He is martyr, he is saint, he is freedom, he is valor, he is saint. And courage, indifferent to wounds of time, he is also personified courage. Man, God personified as courage, it is Him I bring here. And courage, indifferent to the wounds of time, and a hero's might, wrestling with death and fate. He is wisdom incarnate on a glorious throne, and a calm autocracy of the sage's rule. So he is wisdom, he is hero, he is saint, he is a sage. These are the forms of God which I bring to man. Not only that, he is the high and solitary thought, the nobility of mind, of high thinking thought. It is that I bring to him. He is the high and solitary thought, aloof above the ignorant multitude, unconcerned with this ignorance here. It is that lofty thought I bring. He is the prophet's voice, the sight to the seer, he is received. He is the prophet also. Not only that, he is beauty. He is beauty, nectar of the passionate soul. He is the truth by which the spirit lives. He is the richest of the spiritual vast, the spiritual wealth, abundance, plenty, dhana, vasu. These are the things of God which I bring to man. He is the richest of the spiritual vast, poured out in healing strains of indigent life. He is eternity, lived from hour to hour. He is infinity in a little space. He is immortality in the arms of death. All these are the forms of God I bring to man. These powers I am, and at my call they came. What are these powers? God's forms. He is good, He is right, He is freedom, He is valor, He is martyr, courage, hero, wisdom, sage, thought, prophet, seer, beauty, truth, richness, eternity, infinity, immortality. These are the forms of God I bring to man. This is my work. This is the work which I have been doing in your inner soul. He, the richest of the spiritual vast, poured out in healing streams of indigent life. He is eternity, lived from hour to hour. He is infinity in a little space. He is immortality in the arms of death. These powers I am, and at my call they come. Thus slowly I lift man's soul near to light. By bringing these powers, I take man forward towards light. But human mind, yes, this is the work I have been doing. What is the response from human kind, human mind? But human mind clings to its ignorance. It holds on to its own ignorance. It does not accept the gifts which I am bringing to him. But human mind clings to its ignorance and to its littleness, the human heart, smallness, pettiness. This is what the human heart is, and it is happy with that. It clings to it. And to the right, and to its right, to grieve the earthly life. I bring great things, but he is happy with the earthly life, to littleness. Only when eternity takes time by the hand, the condition is such that man cannot be saved. Unless eternity takes lead and takes hold of time and leads time forward. Only when eternity takes time by the hand, only when infinity which the finite thought, can man be free from himself and live with God. I bring meanwhile the gods upon the earth. I bring back hope to the departing heart. I give peace to the humble and the great. Although man is not accepting my gifts, I continue to do my work. I bring gods upon the earth. I bring hope. I give peace and set my grace on the foolish and the wise equally. Whether he is foolish or he is wise, on all of them I shower my grace. I shall save earth if earth consents to be saved. I am helpless. I am there to save man. I am there to save earth. But I need a proper response from earth, from man. He has to give the consent. I cannot impose safety, the heaven's gifts. I cannot impose on him. He has to accept it. Then love shall at last unwounded tread earth's soil. When he is open to my gifts, then shall love come and live on earth. Man's mind shall admit the sovereignty of truth. Then shall love and truth live here. And body bear the immense descent of God. It is not only his mind, it is not only his life, but his body also shall bear the weight of God's presence here. Then love shall at last unwounded tread earth's soil. Man's mind shall admit the sovereignty of truth, and body They are the immense descent of God. Last time we saw what the mother of light, joy and peace was narrating to Savitri. She told her that if earth wants to be saved, she is there to save the earth. But that urge, that will, that aspiration is wanting. If that is there, then love shall see at last unwounded tread earth's soil. Man's mind shall admit the sovereignty of truth, and body bear the immense descent of God. That was her expectation, that is her expectation, that is the reason why she was there. But in response to what she is describing to Savitri, there is an answer. There is a revolt from human nature, and it is that which comes in the way, which impedes man's progress. She spoke, the mother of light and joy and peace. She spoke, and from the ignorant nether plane, a cry, a warped echo, naked and shuddering, came. A voice of the sense-shackled human mind carried its proud complaint of godlike power, hushed by the limits of a mortal's thoughts, bound in the chains of earthly ignorance. That is the nature of human mind. It is bound in the chains of earthly ignorance. It has no idea, no perception of things beyond it, of intuition, of revelation, of knowledge. A voice of the sense-shackled human mind. Our mind is mostly governed by the vital forces, by the instincts of life. And in order to satisfy the instincts of life, it is mind which is utilized to provide the reasons, the rationale. And all our actions are therefore a mixture of the life instincts and the limitations of mind, which is also obliging all the while the life force. A voice of the sense-shackled human mind carried its proud complaint of godlike power, hushed by the limits of a mortal's thoughts, bound in the chains of earthly ignorance, imprisoned in his body and his brain. The mortal cannot see God's mighty whole, or share in his vast and deep identity, who stands unguessed within our ignorant hearts and knows all things because he is one with all. We are not one with all, but there is somebody in us who knows everything, who is one with all, who has an identity with every creature kind, with every object of the creation. We lack that. We don't see the mighty whole of God, and therefore whatever we do from the standpoint of our logic, of our thought, our reasoning, imprisoned by senses. Man only sees the cosmic surfaces, only the superficial things he sees. He considers that he has knowledge, but hardly he knows anything. Then wondering what may lie hid from the sense, a little way he delves to depths below, Sometimes he gets an idea that perhaps what he knows is not sufficient and he tries to go a little deeper. A little way he delves to depths below, but soon he stops. He cannot reach life's core or commune with the throbbing heart of things. Neither his mental capacity nor his emotional being is in a position to understand the deeper things of existence. He sees the naked body of the truth, though often baffled by her endless garbs, but cannot look upon her soul within. So what we see is only the outward form of truth, of trees, of flowers, of trees, animals, of this creation, of this earth, of the planets, of the solar system, of the cosmos. We see only the outer form of truth, but not what is there behind them all. The soul of those things, we have no idea of it at all. Then, furious for a knowledge absolute, he tears all details out and stabs and digs. He becomes impatient. He wants to know things and he takes a violent step to try to understand what all these things are. He tears all details out and stabs and digs. Only the shape contents he holds for use. The spirit escapes or dies beneath his knife. We understand things by dissecting, by cutting, by ripping out the parts. Our faculty is the faculty of analysis, of separating each and every little detail, but we cannot understand all these things put together. That capacity is not there with us. The spirit escapes or dies beneath his knife. He sees as a blank stretch a giant waste, the crowding riches of infinity. What is this thing for? He has no understanding of that. Instead, he thinks that this is a waste, purposeless life. It has no content at all. The finite he has made his central field. Small little bits, that is all he wants to understand. Small pieces, small pebble, small plant, small flower, if at all, to some extent. But the totality of creation, of life, of that, he cannot even imagine. The finite he has made his central field. His plan dissects, masters his processes. We understand things, work out the chemistry of all the operations, how one thing will lead to other thing. The process he tries to understand, but not the force which was behind them. That which moves all is hidden from his gaze. His poring eyes miss the unseen behind. He has a blind man's subtle, unerring touch, or the slow traveler's sight of distant scene. The soul's revealing contacts are not his. Well, he does get something in the whole process, but it is the way in which a blind man would walk on the road. He does not know what the road is, what things are there around. Of that he has no knowledge at all. He had a blind man's subtle, unerring touch. He knows definitely how to go, but he has no knowledge of things. The soul's revealing contacts are not his. Yet he is visited by intuitive light, and inspiration comes from the unknown. If he is open at times, then he does receive something from above. but only reason and sense he feels assured. Ultimately, whatever he receives from above, he will make them subject to reason. He will try to rationalize it. If it passes the test of his mind, then only he will accept. Otherwise, he will not pay any heed to those things at all. But only reason and sense he feels are assured. They only are his trusted witnesses. Thus is he balked. Thus he is thrown away. He recoils. He is turned back. His splendid effort vain. So whatever he tries, whatever he struggles for, it does not prove fruitful. His knowledge scans bright pebbles on the shore of a huge ocean of his ignorance. He will stand on the shoulders of other giants and try to have a wider look of things, a wider look at things, the vaster expanses of the ocean, see small little pebbles, but all knowledge he gets from the whole operation is only collecting small little pebbles of knowledge. The true knowledge he does not have. This is exactly what Newton said. My knowledge are only small pebbles on the oceans of life, of truth. This is he balked. His splendid effort when his knowledge scans bright pebbles on the shore of the huge ocean of his ignorance. Yet grandiose were the accents of that cry, a cosmic pathos trembled in his tone. I am the mind of God's great ignorant world. I know everything. This is what he is boasting. I am the mind of God's great ignorant world, ascending to knowledge by the steps he made. I am the all-discovering thought of man. This is what he is boasting. He is claiming about his knowledge. I am a God fettered by matter and sense, an animal prisoned in a fence of thorns, a beast of labor asking for his food, a smith tied to his anvil and his forge. So I am a craftsman, I am a worker, laboring to get knowledge, a beast of labor asking for his food, a smith tied to his anvil and his forge. Yet have I loosened the cord, enlarged my room, the scope of my knowledge has expanded. I have now more command over the forces of nature. I have mapped the heavens and analyzed the stars, described the orbits through the cruise of space, measured the miles that separate the sun, computed the longevity in time, the life of the sun, the death of the sun. I know how the whole process works. I am the astronomer. I have the knowledge of the objects in space. I have mapped the heavens and analyzed the stars. Then I am also a geologist. I have delved into earth's bowels and torn out the riches guarded by the dull brown soil, how the mountains are formed, how the tectonic movement take place and the mountains form, how the volcanoes appear, all that I have learned. I know all those things. I have delved into earth's bowels and torn out the riches guarded by her dull brown soil. I had clasped the changes of a stony crust, and her biography discovered the dates and rescued the pages of all nature's plans. I have done carbon dating. I know what came when, the entire sequence I can trace. This is the geologist method of understanding the life, the earth science. Then I am the biologist, I am the evolutionary scientist. The tree of evolution I have sketched, each branch and twig and leaf in its own place. In the embryo, track the history of forms, how from little beginning the form has grown, and the genealogy frame of all that lives. So I am a genetic engineer also, microbiologist, knowing all the details. I had detected plasm and cell and gene. The living substance, what it is, the plasm that I have found. I know what a cell is, what a gene is. The protozoa are traced, man's ancestors, in the amoeba. In the beginning of life itself, I know how man can come out from the whole place. The humble originals from whom he rose, I know how he was born and how he dies. Only what end he serves, I know not yet. Yes, he takes birth, he lives, he does lot of things during his life and he dies. But why he has come into life, why he goes away from life, of that I have no knowledge, I have no idea. Only what end he serves, I know not yet, or if there is an aim, or any end, or if there is aim at all, or any end, or push of rich, creative, purposeful joy in the wide worlds of the terrestrial power, that I have no idea. I cannot tell you anything about that. I have caught the intricate processes, none is left. Her huge machinery is in my hands. I have seen the cosmic energies for my use. Everything is my command now. I am the master of nature. I have poured on her infinitesimal elements, small little details, I know. And her invisible atoms I have unmasked. I have got microscopes by which the smallest little things I can see. All matter is a book I have produced. I have opened the book and I read the whole secret of matter. Only some pages now are left to read. I know that my knowledge is not complete, but I am sure I will get that also as I proceed. Only some pages are left to read. I have seen the ways of life, the paths of mind. I am becoming a philosopher now. I am a scientist. I am becoming a philosopher. I have seen the ways of life, the paths of mind. I have studied the methods of the ant and ape, and the behavior learned of man and worm. If God is at work, His secrets I have found. But still, the cause of things is left in doubt. Why all this? Why things happen this way? What is the purpose behind that? The cause of that is not yet known to me. But still, the cause of things is left in doubt. Their truth flees from pursuit into a void. It remains a blank for me. When all has been explained, nothing is known. I explain the entire sequence, that elements come together, form compounds. But what have I explained really? Nothing. What shows the process? When the past sprung, I know not, and perhaps shall never know. A mystery in a mighty nature's birth. The birth of nature has remained a mystery to me, and it will always remain a mystery to me. A mystery is this mighty nature's birth. A mystery is elusive stream of mind. A mystery the protean freak of life, the changing substance, life constantly altering. That whole thing is a mystery to me. What I have learned, chance leaves to contradict. I think I have surer knowledge of things, but suddenly something happens unexpectedly, and the whole thing is lost, is wiped out. I can foresee the acts of matter's force, but not the march of the destinies of man. How the material creation works, I know the laws of physics, and I can predict what is going to happen. The cause and effect, their infallible relationship, are at my command. But what is the destiny of man? I cannot tell anything about that. He is driven upon paths he did not choose. He falls trampled underneath the rolling wheels of time, circumstance, chance, fate. Under them he falls. My great philosophies are a reason guess. After all my philosophies, materialism, communism, spiritualism, capitalism, whatever philosophies have built, they are what? Only reasoned guesses. They have no knowledge. The mystic haven that claim the human soul and are a charlatanism of the imagining brain. It is only nothing but the imagination of an impostor. I am proving myself only someone who claims to know things, but factually I have no knowledge of things at all. Are a charlatanism of the imagining brain, or is a speculation or a dream. In the end, the word itself becomes a doubt. I am left nowhere. The infinitesimal suggests mocks mass and shape. A laugh peals from the infinite's finite mask. Perhaps the word is an error of our side. Ultimately, I kind of give up and start thinking that perhaps the whole thing is an error, is a mistake. My knowledge cannot tell me anything. A trick repeated in each flash of sense. An unreal mind hallucinates the soul with a stress vision of false reality, or a dance of Maya where the void unborn. So it is an illusion, it is Maya. That is all I can see from here. Even if a greater consciousness I could reach, I have become a philosopher, I have become a scientist, but even if I am to go beyond this and reach a greater consciousness, what profit is it then for thought to win? A real which is forever ineffable, if it cannot be described, if it cannot be made real here, what is the use of that? Or hand to its lair, the bodiless self, or make the unknowable the target to the soul. Nay, let me work within my mortal bounds. I am happy in my little mortality. Let me work, let me do whatever I can do in the small field. Not live beyond life, nor think beyond the mind. Our smallness saves us from the infinite. In a frozen grandeur lone and desolate, call me not to die the great eternal death, left naked of my own humanity, in the chill vast of the Spirit's boundlessness. Each creature by its nature's limits lives, and how can one evade his native fate? Human I am, human, let me remain. Yes, I am man, let me remain what I am. I am small, let me be small. In that only perhaps lies my happiness. Human I am, human, let me remain. Poetically, it is a beautiful line, human I am. Trochee Prick, I am human, let me remain. Till in the inconscient I fall down and sleep, till I disappear, let me remain human only. A high insanity, a chimera is this. It is a monstrous thing to think that I can be greater than what I am. It is an insanity, an act of foolishness. To think that God lives hidden in the clay, how can God leave this matter in a small little thing? It is insanity. It is a chimera. It is a monstrous idea. And the eternal truth can dwell in time. Truth is beyond time. How can it come and live in time? And call to her to save herself and world. You want truth to come here in order to save this world, but how truth, which is eternal, can live in time? Truth, which is boundless, how can it remain in small little bounds? How can man grow immortal and divine? That is a chimera, to think of man becoming divine, transmuting the very stuff of which he is made. This wild imagination, to think that man can become divine, can become immortal. This wizard gods may dream, fanciful gods, they might dream such a possibility, but not thinking man. A reasoning animal, reasoning man cannot think of man becoming divine, man becoming immortal. And Savitri heard the voice, devout answer heard. Savitri is listening to both the narratives of the Madonna of light and joy and peace, and the arrogant reply of the rational man, the mental being. Madonna of light, mother of joy and peace, thou art a portion of myself put forth to raise the spirit to its forgotten height. Yes, you are here. I have put you here so that man may rise to greater heights, the heights which he has forgotten, and weigh the soul by touches of the heavens. Because thou art, the soul draws near to God. Because thou art, love grows in spite of hate, and knowledge walks unslain in the pit of night. It is because of you that even the darkness can enter light. But not by showering heaven's golden rain. You may give all kinds of gifts to man, but not by showering heaven's golden rain upon the intellect's hard and rocky soil. Can the tree of paradise flower on earthly ground, and the bird of paradise sit upon life's boughs, and the winds of paradise visit mortal air? It is impossible. By showering the golden gifts to man, who is only a reasoning creature, this great things cannot be accomplished. The trees of paradise cannot flower here. The bird of paradise cannot come and sit here on the branch. The winds of paradise cannot blow here. Even if thou rain down intuition's rays, constantly you might pour intuition, the mind of man will think it earth's own gleam. He will think that it does not come from here, it has come from below only. His spirit by spiritual ego sink, he will become proud of his position, and because of that weight he will sink down. His spirit by spiritual ego sink, or his soul dream shut in sainthood, brilliant cell, he might become a holy man, and that itself would become a case for him. Where only a bright shadow of God can come, All that can happen is only a bright shadow of God coming and entering into this creation. He will become a holy man, but he is caught in a golden cage, where only a bright shadow of God can come. His hunger for the eternal thou must nurse, not for holiness, not for sainthood, not for becoming a scientist or a philosopher or a mystic, that you have to work for man here. His hunger for the eternal thou must know, and fill the yearning heart with heaven's fire, and bring God down into his body and life. One day I shall return his hands and mine, and thou shalt see the face of the Absolute. Yes, I will come with his hand in my hand, and you will see the face of the Absolute. Then shall the holy marriage be achieved. The separation is between this creation and that, between matter and spirit. It is they who will come together. The soul and the oversoul will join. Then shall the holy marriage be achieved. Then shall the divine family be born. There shall be light and peace in all the worlds. There shall be light and peace in all the world. Yes, I will come with his hand in my hand, and then there shall be light and peace in all the worlds. Last time we hurriedly saw the response from the mental being, the rational man, to the narrative as was presented by the Mother of Light, Joy and Peace. The person whom she now meets from the nether depths is the materialist mind arrogant of itself, denying the possibility of the spirit entering into this creation. His arrogance is stupendous. He has definitely made things go forward, but at the same time he claims the entire victory to himself, which is really not his. He does receive from time to time inspiration and higher knowledge, but he claims it to be his own. He puts that thing to his own use. So she spoke, and from the ignorant nether plane a cry, a warped echo, naked and shuddering, came. A voice of the sense-shackled human mind. Voice of the sense-shackled human mind. Mind bound by the chains of senses. The vital forces ruling his discernment, his intuition, his reason. A voice of the sense-shackled human mind carried his proud complaint of godlike power, hushed by the limits of a mortal's thoughts, bound with the chains of earthly ignorance. That is how he is all the while tied to the earth, to the ignorance which is present in the earth, bound in the chains of the earthly ignorance, imprisoned in his body and his brain. The mortal cannot see God's mighty whole. That is the difficulty. God's mighty whole he is not able to understand, see, envision, because he is imprisoned in his body. The material envelope is so thick that he cannot penetrate through it. The mortal cannot see God's mighty whole or share in his vast and deep identity, who stands unguessed within our ignorant hearts and knows all things because he is one with all, one who is standing within us, who knows everything, who can really give the true knowledge. This man is unable to see him or share his knowledge or share his vast and deep identity, who stands unguessed. Man only sees the cosmic surfaces. What is man's sight after all? It is scratching the surface. It is picking or scouring the surface facts only, without getting into the depths of things. Man only sees the cosmic surfaces, then wondering what may lie hid from the sun. He simply wonders what could be there underneath the surface. A little way he delves to depths below, but soon he stops. He cannot reach life's core or commune with the throbbing heart of things, the reality, the core of things that he cannot touch, he cannot understand, he cannot reach. But soon he stops. He cannot reach his life's core or commune with the throbbing heart of things. He sees the naked body of the truth. That is all he can see. Though often baffled by her endless calves, but cannot look upon her soul within. Only the outer facts, the superficial aspects of truth, that is all he can understand. The phenomenal, what is called facts, the empirical knowledge of science, that is all he is capable of receiving. But what is there beneath it that he is not able to see? Chemical reactions take place. He will understand that, he will tell you all the stories about that. But what is it that makes those chemical reactions go? Of that he has no idea. He cannot have that idea. Then, furious for a knowledge absolute, he becomes angry. He wants absolute knowledge which he cannot get. He tears all details out and stabs and digs. He becomes violent. Only the saves, contents he holds for use. Whatever is useful, utility is bazaar. That is what he would like to promote in the whole affair. The spirit escapes or dies beneath his knife. He would like to understand the deeper things, but what is there behind those deeper things? The spirit of things that escapes his comprehension. He cannot understand that thing. If at all he tries to cut it, break it open, analyze it, dissect it, what does he do? He finds that the very life of it in the process is destroyed. We build huge big machines, large hadron colliders. They are gigantic achievements of man. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But ultimately, what is the truth we get from that? Hardly anything. Not really worthwhile. The finite he has made, he sees as a blank stretch, a giant waste, the crowding riches of infinity. It is only a waste for him, the riches of infinity. He is not able to gaze, and they appear only a waste desert. The finite he has made his central field. That is his point. Pinned down to smaller and smaller things, pinned down to minute and minute things, but the totality, the integrality of it is lost. The finite he has made his central field. His plan dissects, masters his processes, that which moves all is hidden from his gaze. His pouring eyes miss the unseen behind. He tries to look in minute details, all these things, but behind those things, what is there really, that he cannot understand at all. That is his pity, that is his tragedy, see. That is the faculty of mind. Mind is an instrument of analysis, of breaking things to smaller and smaller parts, till even the last reality of it is broken to such an extent that it disappears. And that is what is happening in all the pursuits of man, being analytical. He has the blind man's subtle, unerring touch. The way the blind man walks on the road, he does walk with a certain kind of assurance with the help of the instruments which are there at his disposal. But the soul's revealing contacts are not his. They touch the real thing which the soul uses, that intimacy, that knowledge that he cannot get. He had the blind man's subtle unerring touch, or the slow traveler's sight or distant the same. The soul's revealing contacts are not his. Yet he is visited by intuitive light. There is something still in him, in man, that then he can receive higher inspiration. He can feel the inner rush of some other kind of a knowledge entering into him and changing his outlook towards things. Yet he is visited by intuitive light, and inspiration comes from the unknown. He pushes down, and suddenly in a rush he gets inspiration, and he writes poetry or creates art, creates knowledge also. But only reason and sense he feels as sure. The rational mind, he might receive the inspiration, but he will depend only upon what he can rationalize, what he can put down in the form of an equation and then understand. Only reason and sense he feels assured. They are his trusted witnesses. They only are his trusted witnesses. The rational mind, his tools, 5 faculties of sense perception, that is all. Thus is he balked, thus he stopped from making real progress. Thus is he balked. His splendid effort becomes vain. He will be huge big machines, but ultimately they do not really give him the true knowledge. His knowledge can bright pebbles on the shore of the huge ocean of his ignorance. That is his pity. Bright pebbles. This is what Newton was saying. He would say that whatever he has contributed by standing on the shoulders of the giants, people of knowledge. He stood on their shoulders and he could understand and contribute something. But ultimately, what does he say that? He says that in this vast ocean, on the beach, he is simply collecting few pebbles here and there. His knowledge can bright pebbles, yet grandiose were the accents of that cry, that man's assertive cry was there. A cosmic pathos trembled in his tone. I am the mind of God's great ignorant world. Yes, this is what I am. I am possessing the mind of God Himself. And it is through that I understand and know everything and can achieve everything. I am the mind of God's great ignorant world, ascending to knowledge by the steps He has made. I am the all-discovering thought of man. I am a God fettered by matter and sense, an animal prisoned in a fence of forms, in a fence of thorns. I am an animal kept in a cage, and it is through that I am able to see whatever I can see. A beast of labor asking for his food. I am put in the cage, in a fence, thorny fence, and I only pray for food. A beast of labor asking for his food. A smith tied to his anvil, and his foes, I keep on laboring like a smith. Yet have I loosened the cord, enlarged my room. In spite of this state of mind, I am able to widen my scope of understanding. I have mapped the heavens and analyzed the stars. Yes, I am tied to the anvil and constantly looking through a small narrow window, yet still I have been able to widen my scope of vision. I have mapped the heavens, analyzed the stars, described the orbits through the grooves of space, measured the miles that separate the suns. I have calculated the light years which separate one galaxy from the other galaxy. I have measured all the distances, distances in space, distances in time, and I understand the nature of the sky. Measured the mile that separate the sun, computed the longevity of time, how long ago was this creation born, when did it come into existence, how it came, that I can calculate, I can tell. That has been my work. I had delved into it. So this is the astronomer, the man who is looking at the stars and calculating the properties of the stars and their movements and the relationships. This is what the astronomer does. Then comes the geologist. I had delved into Earth's bowels and torn out the riches guarded by her dull brown soil. What lies below the Earth's surface, I have been able to understand. I am the geologist. I have classed the changes of a stony crust, one above the other, how the crusts have formed through the ages. I have been able to understand and categorize them. And of her biography, discover the dates. Yes, this happened this time, this happened this time, this happened this time. As a geologist, I can trace out all those events. Rescue the pages of all nature's plan, the tree of evolution. So this is the biologist now coming, evolutionary biology. The tree of evolution, I have sketched how from ape man came, how the whole creation grew, the entire biological process I have been able to trace. The tree of evolution I have came, each branch and twig and leaf in its own place. In the embryo, tracked the history of form, how the form has come to existence. I can go back and trace it to the origin itself. And the genealogy framed of all that lived. I had detected plasm, so he is a geologist. I had detected plasm and cell and gene, the protozoum, traced man's ancestors. Yes, man has come from ape. The humble originals from whom he rose. I know how he was born and he dies. How he dies, that I know. Only what end he serves, I know not yet. Yes, I know how the birth takes place. I know the death of man, how he dies, why he dies to some extent. I know that. But during birth and death, why he is here for, what he is here for, that I cannot tell. Only what end he serves, I know not yet. I will perhaps one day understand even that. Or if there is aim at all, or any end, or push of rich, creative, purposeful joy, it is some kind of a joy which is pushing all these movements forward, that I will perhaps understand tomorrow. In the wide worlds of the terrestrial power, I have caught her intricate processes. None is left. Her huge machinery is in my hands. I am a mechanical engineer. I know how to work out all the details. I have seen the cosmic energies for my use. I have built windmills. I have built generators using the waterfalls. I have done all that thing. I am an accomplished engineer to do all that thing. I have poured on her infinitesimal element and her invisible atom. I am a chemist also. Small little details, chemicals, atoms. I know how the combination takes place from one, how it proceeds to the next. All matter is a book I have perused. Yes, I have understood the chemistry of this entire creation. Only some pages now are left to read. Yes, I will soon finish those unknown details also, find those unknown details also. I have seen the ways of life, the paths of mind. Now I am becoming a philosopher, I am becoming a thinker, I have become a scientist, I have become a geologist, astronomer, I will become a thinker also. I have seen the ways of life, why life is there, what for it is there, what is the movement, death and life, what is the relationship, that is what I will try to understand. The paths of mind, I have studied the methods of the ant and the ape, how the ant moves, how the ape jumps from one branch of the tree to the other, and the behavior learned of man and worm. If God is at work, His secrets I have found. I am in possession of His secrets by my mental understanding, by the power of my mind. I have been able to understand all the detail. If God is at work, His secrets I have found, but still the cause of things is left in doubt. Yes, I know what is ant, what is man, but what for? What is the cause of all that? That I may not be able to tell today, but I hope that even that I shall be able to find soon. But still the cause of things is left in doubt. Their truth flees from pursuit into a void when all has been explained. Nothing is known. I have written big volumes, metaphysical volumes, show the process. Whence the power sprung, I know not, and perhaps shall never know. Things have happened, I have understood, I have studied all these things, but whence from these things have happened? What is the cause of all that? I am a thinking man. I would like to rationalize it, I would like to understand it in my own way, but at the moment I have no knowledge of that. I know not, and perhaps shall never know. A mystery is mighty nature's birth. This whole creation, this nature itself has remained a mystery to me permanently, and perhaps I may not know what is that prompts nature to do things in a certain way, certain things in a certain way. A mystery is mighty nature's birth. A mystery is the elusive stream of mind. A mystery, the protean freak of life. All these things have remained a mystery to me. What I have learned, yes, I have learned many things, astronomy, biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, all that I have learned. Finally what? What I have learned, chance leaves to contradict. Suddenly something happens, my knowledge gets challenged, in fact it gets nullified. What I have learned, chance leads to contradict. Suddenly some new discovery is made, and all the theories which I had built until now, they collapse. What I have built is seized and torn by fate. I can foresee the acts of matter's force, but not the march of the destiny of man. There is some force behind man's movements, his progress. What is it that I may not understand? The forces of nature, yes, I have some understanding of it. I can put planes in the sky, I can shoot rockets in the sky, I can send satellites into space, but what for, in what way, that I am not able to understand it all. What I have built is seized by fate. I can foresee the acts of matter's form, but not the march of the destiny of man. He is driven upon paths he did not choose. He falls trampled underneath the rolling wheel. My great philosophies are a reason against. I have built structures of thought and knowledge, but ultimately what are they? They are only guesses made by reason. The mystic, so this is what the philosopher is, and the mystic haven that claims the human soul are a charlatanism or the imagining brain. Yes, it is only fooling yourself. A mystic says, I have got this and this kind of knowledge, but that is fooling yourself. Or a charlatanism or the imagining brain. All is a speculation or a dream. My philosophies, my theories are only a dream or a speculation. In the end, the world itself becomes a doubt. So what I have been taken all along as a solid foundation of my knowledge, that crumbles into doubt. The infinituous just mocks mass and shape. A love peels from the infinite's finite mask. This is what happens. Yes, I am very proud of my knowledge, but there is somebody elsewhere who sort of laughs at my knowledge. Perhaps the word is in error. Then ultimately what do? I think that perhaps all that thing I am seeing here around is an error. Perhaps the word is an error of our sight. It is not that the true world I am seeing. A trick repeated in each flash of sense. An unreal mind hallucinates the soul. Soul becomes a creation of mind. With the stress vision of false reality, or a dance of Maya, veiled, void, and born. So it becomes an illusion. It becomes a falsehood, an error of sight. Even if a greater consciousness I could reach, even if I go beyond knowledge, beyond mind, what happens? Even if a greater consciousness I could reach, what profit is it then for thought to win? Because that knowledge cannot be put into practice here. So what is the use of that knowledge, even if I get that consciousness? A real which is forever ineffable, if the real is indescribable, is not graspable, then what is the use of that real? Nothing. Or hunt to its lair the bodiless self, or make the unknowable the target of the soul. Nay, let me work within my mortal bound. So I shall be happy because it is ineffable. It is of no use to me, that higher knowledge. Even if I attempt to grasp the ungraspable, to know the unknowable, even if I attempt, what is the use of that knowledge? Nay, let me work within my mortal bound, not live beyond life, nor think beyond the mind. Yes, this is my domain, life and mind. Why should I bother about those things which lie beyond life and mind? Our smallness saves us from the infinite. It is because of that we are saved. In a frozen grandeur, lone and desolate, call me not to die, the great eternal death. Left naked of my humanity, in the chill vast of the Spirit's boundlessness, don't call me to knowledge alone, knowledge different. That knowledge is a greater death for me. If that knowledge cannot become a part of this existence, then it becomes a greater death. That is what the Isha Upanishad says. Knowledge alone, Vidya alone, is a greater irretrievable death than ignorance in a certain sense. If that cannot come into practice, into existence here, then you are lost from this creation. In a frozen grandeur, lone and desolate, call me not to die, the great eternal death. Left naked of my own humanity, in the chill vast of the Spirit's boundlessness. Each creature by its nature's limits live, and how can one evade his native fate? Yes, I have my own character, my own svabha. Let me live by that, and I am happy with that. Human I am. Yes, I am proud to be human, proud to be man. Human, let me remain, till in the inconscient I fall dumb and sleep. A high insanity, a chimera it is foolish, it is absurd to think that God lives hidden in the clay, in this mud, in this matter, God lives. This is an absurd thing. How can He live in matter? It is impossible for God to exist in matter. A high insanity, a chimera is to think that God lives hidden in the clay and that eternal truth can dwell in time. What is eternal? How can it come and step into movement? That is an absurdity to think of. and call to her to save herself and the world. And it is that truth people are calling down here. But it is insanity, it is foolish, it is absurd. It cannot happen that. How can man grow immortal and divine? If this is the condition of this world, of this creation here, how can man grow immortal and divine, transmuting the very stuff of which he is made? He is made of inconscient matter. How can that be changed? It is a chimera. This wizard gods may dream, yes, the magicians, the thaumaturge, they may wizard, they may dream that matter can be transformed, that there is a possibility of God coming down and living in matter here. This wizard gods may dream, not thinking men. People who have rational mind, they will not succumb to that kind of a temptation. This is the denial of the materialist, emphasizing that it is impossible in this creation for the divine to come and exist. And in response to that, what happens then? Savitri tells the soul force of us, and Savitri heard the voice of the mother of light, of peace and joy. She heard and she responded. And Savitri heard the voice, the warped answer heard, the answer of the rational mind, the warped answer. Madonna of light, mother of joy and peace, thou art a portion of myself put forth. Yes, I have put my part of the soul through you in this creation. Thou art a portion of myself put forth to raise the spirit in his forgotten heights, to his forgotten heights, and wake the soul by touches of the heaven. It is for that purpose I have put you here, so that from here you can go up and establish contact with the spirit. Because thou art, because this mother of light and joy and peace is there, because thou art, the soul draws near to God. Because thou art, love grows in spite of hate, and knowledge walks unslain in the pit of night, but not by showering heaven's golden rain. Yes, you have been doing all these things, your presence is there, and you have been constantly giving gifts to man, but that is not going to help. But not by showering heaven's golden rain upon the intellect's hard and rocky soil. That is what the rational mind is. Intellect's hard and rocky soil. You might pour rains constantly, but nothing will grow in that. Upon the intellect's hard and rocky soil, can the tree of paradise flower on earthly ground, and the bird of paradise sit upon life's bowl, and the winds of paradise visit mortal air? By showering presents and gifts, this change cannot take place. Even if thou rain down intuition's rays, even if you constantly give knowledge to man, even if thou rain down intuition's rain, the mind of man will think it earth's own gleam. It is a part of matter. It will say constantly that yes, it has sprung up from matter, gleam. His spirit, by spiritual ego, sing. He will become so wise, he will become so proud of himself that by the spirit's ego he will sink and collapse. The way Atlantis sank in the ocean because of the occult weight, occult knowledge. His spirit, by spiritual ego, sing, or his soul dream shut in sainthood's brilliant cell. Yes, he might become a saint, but that sainthood is of no use, where only a bright shadow of God can come. In this cell wherein the sage is dwelling, only a small light of it can enter into that cave. But what is that light after all? It is only the shadow of God. It is not the true light of God himself. Or his soul dream, shut in sainthood's brilliant cell, where only a bright shadow of God can come. His hunger for the eternal, thou must nurse. Man's hunger for the eternal, it is that you must promote, you must protect. And fill yearning heart with heaven's fire, and bring God down into his body and life. That is your task. You have to bring down God into his body and into his life. One day I shall return, his hands in mine, and thou shalt see the face of the Absolute. When I come with his hand in my hand, then you will see the face of the Absolute. Then shall the holy marriage be achieved. Then shall the divine family be born. There shall be light and peace in all the worlds. When I come back with his hands in my hand, then shall light and peace be born in all the worlds. Now Savitri has met the three soul forces. Savitri has met the three soul forces. They are actually the divine incarnations of her soul. Yet, unrealized here, they must come out. Meets the inner world personalities as the powers of the supreme force. These three forces of her soul are the powers of the Supreme Himself, coming from her own divine soul, working here as emanations. And what are they doing here? To carry on the spiritual evolution of man, evolution of consciousness in a continuous manner. These three forces are the Avarana Devatas of Savitri, of the Mahayogini, Savitri the Mahayogini. These are the Avaranas of Savitri's soul force. The Supreme Mahamaya or Tripura Sundari, it is her form, that is what is presented here. These are the tantric counterparts of Savitri's soul. Shambhavi Shakti Matrika. These are the counterparts, the three forces which Savitri has made. These are the transcendental mothers, active personalities operating in the field of inconscience. These are the parts of our secret soul that come down here to do the work in their consciousness. And it is because of that things can happen here. The three Madonnas are Madonna of suffering, grief divine, Madonna of might, works and force, Madonna of light, joy and peace. These are the three soul forces constantly operating. Savitri soul forces operating in the cosmic scale of tamasa, of luminous peace, stability, of rajasa, of dynamism of life, of sattva, of the luminous outlook of things. But they got corrupted. They have been seized by the opposing forces. The mother addresses a prayer to the Divine Mother. Prayer dated 1st September 1914, and she says, she hears a voice, turn towards those who have need of thy love. She receives a command, turn towards those who have the need of thy love. And suddenly what happened? All the worlds appeared in front of her. All the worlds appeared. Beautiful, noble, lofty, powerful, luminous. All the worlds appeared in front of her. The moment she gets the command, those who had need of thy love, turn towards them. And all the worlds in the cosmic extension, they appear in front of her. At the same time, the dark worlds also spring up. And she says, the Mother and the Divine Mother, we willed ardently the divine love. We prayed for the divine love to come here. The Divine Mother, the consciousness force from above, and the human mother who has taken rebirth here. We will ardently the divine love to manifest. Let that divine love manifest here. We implored the Supreme Himself, and the earth was saved.